happened so far. And as you know, how we always do on the channel, we're just going to read this article and then share our thoughts and opinions at the end of it. And I'd love to hear what you guys think down in the comments below. Now, if you guys do enjoy the video, please be sure to smash the thumbs up button and consider subscribing here if you guys haven't already. So like I said, this website is called robots.net, and the article we're going to be reading is called The Witcher 4 Release Date and Everything We Know So Far. It's no secret that the Witcher series has been one of the most beloved franchises in the gaming industry. From the start, The Witcher 1 already presented a fascinating game, and it continued that legacy until The Witcher 3. However, it's been 6 years since the last Witcher game was released. Will there ever be a sequel to The Witcher 3? Well, there may be good news for fans because it looks like The Witcher 4 is already in the works. Here's everything we know about The Witcher 4 and its potential release date. The Witcher 4, what we know so far. Ever since fans have finished The Witcher 3, they've been clamoring for a sequel that's just as good or even better. Now, 6 years after The Witcher 3's release, we're finally getting some news about The Witcher 4. Granted, there's nothing fixed at this point. However, something is brewing amongst the fans thanks to developers' recent job listing release. Of course, some might argue that the releasing job listing is trivial and we shouldn't jump to conclusions. However, it's important because of the type of job developer CD Projekt Red posted for hire. That job is none other than the camera programmer whose credentials must include knowledge of real-time third-person perspective cameras. If you're a diehard fan of the Witcher game series, then this might ring a bell. That's because this type of camera movement was precisely what the developers used for The Witcher 3. Now, granted, the lead is pretty small if you're not paying attention carefully. However, other video games under CD Projekt Red don't use these cameras at all, including Cyberpunk 2077. As a result, many fans and media outlets have been speculating that The Witcher 4 is indeed coming. So what is The Witcher 4 all about? Well, we don't know for sure since the details are scant at this point. So far, what we do know is that The Witcher 3 concluded many parts of the story in The Witcher series. However, there's still a lot left to uncover, which we presume will be addressed in The Witcher 4. For now, we do know that The Witcher 4 story will depend on previous games' canonical ending. However, it is also possible that the next Witcher game will tackle the events before the Witcher series. On the other hand, fans also suspect that The Witcher 4 will portray Ciri as the main character. Moreover, rumors have been circulating saying that we'll have multiple playable characters in The Witcher 4. However, these are all still wild assumptions. What the developers are saying. One thing's for sure, CD Projekt Red is working on something as denoted by their recent hiring list. Moreover, they're sure they're working on something related to the Witcher series. The developers themselves have confirmed there will certainly be another installment into the beloved franchise. CD Projekt Red CEO Adam Kaczynski said that The Witcher would certainly be part of the company's future activities. It will be one of the two franchises that the studio has committed to building up in the years coming. However, Kaczynski says that they can't divulge any further after that. On the other hand, the studio mentioned that they've already have a relatively clear concept for the next Witcher game. Moreover, they also mentioned that the development will start right after Cyberpunk 2077 is made available to the public. Lastly, CD Projekt Red also revealed plans to launch any other AAA title within 2021. Given that there's a small possibility that The Witcher 4 will launch later this year. However, even with a small chance, we still wouldn't get our hopes up for a new game within the year. After all, it takes some time to create a polished game. Moreover, Projekt Red seems to be focused on hammering out bugs in Cyberpunk 2077. On the other hand, they're also busy working on The Witcher 3 ports to the other platforms and its DLCs. Nevertheless, fans can at least be sure to expect one coming at least within the next few years. Lastly, on a different note, CD Projekt Red also mentioned that the previous Witcher games stand as a trilogy, thus The Witcher 4 might not be entitled as such and could take on a completely different name. When will the release of The Witcher 4 be? Currently, things are still up in the air as CD Projekt Red isn't giving out many details. However, what we do know is that the studio has confirmed that they're working on something within the Witcher series. Unfortunately, it could be a long time coming before The Witcher 4 officially releases. That's especially true because the developers have also been busy working on Cyberpunk 2077 patches and The Witcher 3 DLCs. So far, The Witcher 4 remains a mystery, and there's not much news about it when it will be released. Hence, we can't make definite claims on what system requirements you'll need to run the next game. However, there have been intelligent guesses from video game sources like PC Game Benchmark. Here's a rundown of the guesses of what you might need to run The Witcher 4. And I'll go over I'll put a screenshot up on the screen for you guys so you guys can pause the video and take a look at some of those. And like I said, those are just speculated. For platforms, there's still no word about when The Witcher 4 will be released. However, we can make a guess that the platforms where it will be released based on past releases. With The Witcher 3, we found ourselves playing the game on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Hence, The Witcher 4 will likely release on PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. Now, for pricing, The Witcher Wild Hunt cost $49.99 at its highest and went as low as $9.99 historically. With The Witcher 4's release, it could cost about the same. However, there's no guarantee if the cost will change once it comes out. After all, accounting for inflation, the price could change in a few years after its release. Now, with PlayStation 5, we have been seeing brand new AAA release titles at a $69.99 release point for the base games. So I will assume when The Witcher 4 releases, we'll probably be seeing the same price point.